We have heard the grim warnings before. Every 38 minutes, a football field section of Louisiana converts to open water. The Pelican State loses between 25 and 35 square miles of wetlands per year. For residents across South Louisiana, this erosion of land marks more than just the destruction of a fragile ecosystem. It represents a loss of security. Few considered the devastating consequences of modern human habitation in the Gulf's delta until the devastation brought by Hurricanes Katrina and Rita highlighted Louisiana's vulnerability. Now, failure to consider it could lead to the loss of a region essential to the state and national economy.
Unless we do something, we will lose thousands of miles of more wetlands, and our communities like New Orleans will be essentially islands surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico, which would be almost impossible to sustain in the future.
Pioneering research in the scientific community reveals that all is not lost, that the state's formerly robust wetlands buffer can be renewed. The multiple lines of defense strategy, championed by the Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation and its lead researcher John Lopez, offers the solution for creating a sustainable coast for future generations to enjoy. Under the plan, natural lines of defense, such as the barrier islands, are to be rebuilt, while man-made structures, such as levees, are to be strengthened so that they can sustain the force of at least a 100-year storm.
By having these wetlands out in front of the levees along our coast, what it does is it slows the movement of the water down. And since storms are a transient event, as the storm moves in, the surge is building up, but if you can slow the movement of the water in, by the time the storm moves inland, the water is not as high because the water did not move in as quickly. So by slowing the water down, the water elevations are lower, there's less risk of overtopping or other damages from flooding.
In the aftermath of the recent hurricanes that have devastated the Gulf, many have finally taken notice that something needs to be done to save Louisiana's wetlands. In 2007 and again in 2012, the state of Louisiana introduced its comprehensive master plan for a sustainable coast that fully embraced the multiple lines of defense strategy as a solution to the current problem. The federal government, through entities such as the Corps of Engineers, has committed millions of dollars for an array of projects, including wetlands reclamation, to support state efforts to shore up our coastal defenses.
So you look at the entire coast as a water management process in terms of coastal restoration and traditional flood protection.
Forging a sustainable coastal ecosystem in a rebuilt Louisiana Delta remains the goal of all involved. We are now on the path of repairing the damage caused by decades of environmental abuse. Full implementation of the multiple lines of defense strategy will ensure that Louisiana remains a sportsman's paradise, a hub for commerce and industry, and a home for such unique landmarks as the New Canal Lighthouse.